Hello everyone, today I'm here to review for you this special edition of Bang the Dice game, Dice Explosion, coming with expansions and a couple of unique character cards, as well as the base game of Bang the Dice game. So let's light the fuse, jump in, see how the game plays. I'll give you some pros and cons to let you know if you should be adding it to your collection, and just so you're aware, the publisher did send me this for the review. So what's Bang the Dice game all about? Well, think Wild West. You are taking up hidden roles as either the sheriff, some outlaws, a renegade, and depending on the player count you get more renegades, more outlaws, and the sheriff's deputy as well. These are effectively the teams that you're going to be in. The sheriff wants to survive. The deputy wants the sheriff to survive. The renegade wants to eliminate all of the outlaws, but then take the sheriff and his deputy out, and the outlaws just want the sheriff gone. A slight twist from other hidden roles is that one player is going to reveal themselves. The sheriff has to unveil that they are the person with the sheriff role card, and they get a little extra health to sort of help them out. Once the roles are sorted, it's on to the actual game, where you're going to be rolling the dice and either trying to protect the sheriff, take him out, etc. You're going to do that via the different faces that you roll on the dice, and you can always save some and re-roll other dice up to 2 more times. And you can try and hope to get exactly what you want. What you're often trying to get are the 1 distance or 2 distance away from you gunshot symbols, which, well, let you shoot someone either 1 space round the table left or right, or 2 spaces round the table left or right, importantly skipping over any player that's been eliminated. Arrows also cause damage, but, well, that's kind of on you, because when you roll an arrow, you will be able to re-roll it, but you instantly have to take an arrow from the middle. And when all the arrows from the middle are gone, everyone puts their arrows back, and however many arrows had hit them is how many damage they take. Next are the dynamite symbol. Also not great for you. Not only can you not re-roll these, if you roll 3 of them, bang! Not only do you lose a life point, you also end your turn instantly, although you do get to use any of the other symbols that you've rolled still. It's the Wild Wild West, so you might want to be starting to think about some beer, and well, that's because if you have one of those beer symbols, you can give any player, including yourself, 1 health back, up to their maximum. You can't go above that. And lastly, there is the Gatling gun, which is a lot of fun. You roll 3 of these symbols, and you get to shoot everyone else with 1 damage. So on your turn, you'll be rolling the dice, potentially re-rolling, and then setting in stone these are the dice I'm using, and triggering off what they do. Apart from those arrows that you can re-roll, but you'd still need to take the arrow for first. Then you pass the dice on to the next player, and it's their turn and going round the table in clockwise order. You do get eliminated from the game if your health ever hits 0, and of course the outlaws are trying to eliminate the sheriff and potentially the deputy just to make their life easier. The deputies may be trying to heal up the sheriff because they win as long as the sheriff's sort of still around at the end, and the renegade's trying to shoot the outlaws and then the sheriff and deputy. Each player will also have their own unique player power. Some might not have to take arrows or could take arrows instead of bullets. Some will maybe have extra health or certain unique ways to regain health, and each character is going to be different. Over the course of the game, you're also trying to deduce who is who. If you're an outlaw, for instance, you're trying to look out and see who's not shooting the sheriff, who's maybe healing them up. That could be the renegade or the deputy. As the deputy, you might be trying to work out, I think that's the renegade because they're shooting the sheriff and the other players kind of evenly. So they're not necessarily all out on the sheriff. So that is pretty much how you play. You are trying to eliminate whoever your role tells you to eliminate. If it's the outlaws, it's the sheriff. If it's the deputy, you're trying to get rid of the renegade and the outlaws, etc. And it's a lot of fun along the way. I will touch on the expansions as we go through the review now, but let's jump into pros and cons now you know how the game plays. So straight away, it's a lot of fun. It's got some real chaos to it. That really aids the experience in my eyes. It's got dice, so you know there's going to be some luck and some chaos there. It's got the deception and the deduction of trying to work out who that person's role is. I thought they were trying to help me, but all of a sudden they've shot me a lot. Oh, maybe they are the renegade, they're not my deputy, and things like that. And if anything, the dice help the deception and the deduction have a bit extra to it, because it's not just you've shot the sheriff, you must be an outlaw, because, oh, my dice only allow me to shoot maybe one distance away, and, well, I'm either shooting someone here or here, and yeah, you can sometimes make it super obvious by always piling in on the sheriff, but you can also split your shots a little bit and confuse people very easily and then just blame the dice. I couldn't do anything else. I had to accidentally shoot the sheriff. It's what the dice were telling me to do. This is almost like a beer and pretzel style game. You can deal those cards out super fast. Like, there's almost like less than a minute of setup time here, because it's mostly deal out a character card and a hidden roll card and then start rolling dice for someone. Those dice, super easy and quick to teach. The rolls are really intuitive, certainly the base game ones, so quick to get to the table, easy to teach, and very easy chilled gameplay. Yes, it's chaos, but it's sort of light-hearted fun. It's a really quick sort of party game experience, and it's got on the box 3 to 8 players. This is definitely a game for my collection for when I have those higher player counts. I think 4, 5 is where this game really gets going, as you start to have you definitely have all the roles, whereas I think if you have only like 4 players, I don't think you start having the deputy. So when you get 5 players and you have the deputy, or later on as you get maybe even a second renegade, it gets really good. Like, you know, that 4, 5, certainly up to 8 player count, so much fun, and, well, quick, easy fun as well. I always try and touch on one aspect that really elevates the game, and for me that is the character cards, and we'll touch on why the expansions are therefore good in a minute. But even just the ones that are in the base game of Bang the Dice game, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with that. So even if you don't want to maybe necessarily get this version with expansions and stuff thrown in straight away, the base game has a load of those unique character cards, so everyone's got that little extra thing that they can do, and if you forget it, it's like, oh, yeah, I was shooting you, but you can take those as arrows. Oh god, now you're taking arrows, everyone that's got arrows is going to be taking the arrow damage, and it's just, there's some really fun little things you can do, and it just combos nicely with, oh, the sheriff's got extra health from their character and being the sheriff, and it just makes each game just feel really different, and you get those fun moments of, oh, I remember playing that character before, so much fun sort of thing. So why do you want those 2 expansions straight away in the box, apart from added variety? Let's touch on what they add, which is, well, both of them add a load more character cards, so you have even more variety, and not all of them use like just straight away expansion content. Out of the 2, my favourite is probably the old Saloon expansion. It's certainly got more elements to it that I always use. So for example, it's got these 2 Saloon dice. These are double down sort of dice. There's a double down in a sort of timid way and a double down in an aggressive way dice, and you can choose to have one or the other of these instead of one of your normal 5 dice, so you can sort of like sub one of them in and out sort of thing. Basically, like, the timid dice effectively has like double the healing and stuff like that, whereas the aggressive dice even has something that allows the Gatling gun to go off that bit quicker. Or maybe you get like a double shot at someone 2 distance away. Bang bang! The old Saloon also has another module that we just always include, and that's the Chief's Arrow, or the Golden Arrow. Effectively, you can take it from the middle at any point when you take an arrow, but it counts as 2 unless, when it comes to putting your arrows back in the middle, you have both it and the most arrows. So an extra push your lucky sort of thing. If that is the case, that you have the most arrows and it, you don't take any arrow damage. But then if you don't, it counts as double. Like 2 arrows instead of 1. So it could be good and it could be bad. It's just an extra bit of fun to throw into the mix. Then there's the Undead and Alive expansion, which again adds more characters, and that's what you want, but it's also going to introduce a few other things that I don't think you'll use every game. There's dual dice, for instance, which are cool when you are up to speed with the game. I would definitely not play with that expansion with new players, because it adds just a little complexity, adding sort of wound potential into the mix. And then there's the zombie outbreak side of things, which, to be honest, feels a little unnecessary, and the game's fast enough and everything as it normally is, so we normally do leave that one in the box. The rage cards, however, is something that we often include. These are if you take more than 2 damage, 2 hit points worth of damage on your turn, you get to take one of these rage cards, and on your subsequent turn, whenever it comes back around the table to you, you can use it to basically have extra dice symbols straight away. Pretty cool, I find. Especially as you can actually have multiple rage cards and therefore have a huge turn with basically like double the number of dice that you normally would. And well, that really mixes things up. And I think that's what you want those expansions more for. There's certainly parts like those Saloon dice, they're always there. The Chief's Golden Arrow, always there. And the Rage cards, mostly always there. And some of the other ones there that maybe add a little bit of complexity or just something else going on, like the zombie outbreaks, I think they're there to add in occasionally when you just want to spice things up. But I don't think they're ones you're going to add in every time. It's hard to talk about this special edition without also commenting on the packaging, which you can see is a slightly unconventional shape. I have to admit, while it is awkward to put it on the shelf, it still fits in a bag fairly easily, though not as easy as, say, just the base game box. And it does just look really cool, the fact that it's even got like the fuse for the stick of dynamite. It's certainly not got the best sort of storage solution internally, but it is cool. I can't say it's not. It's going to draw the eyes of people looking at it on a shelf, which is probably why it's done like this. But even on my shelf, it looks cool. It looks different. And while I normally knock weird packaging, and I will for the way it's stored maybe the game inside, it still looks really cool. And that is hard to, well, look past. So overall, what do I think of Bang the Dice game? It is absolutely great fun. I think it's one of those ones that you don't need to take seriously. You can have some fun, roll some dice, and have those hidden roll sort of fun moments come out. You get that whole mixture of the chaos of the dice, the deception, and the deduction all rolled up into a very fun, fast experience. It's very hard to get this game to the table and not finish one game and go, right, we're playing another one, right? Because it is super fast and fun, and I think that's one of the amazing points of Bang the Dice game. This one in particular, with the Dice Explosion box, yes, you might not like the slightly quirky shape, but I do think it's quite a fun box, even if the storage inside's not great. But having the expansions and 4 additional characters thrown in, that's pretty cool. I think mostly for the character variety and that old Saloon expansion. I definitely think that's the one to go and get. That's like the, if you've got the base game, go and get old Saloon. And this just comes with that straight away, and the Undead and Alive expansion as well. And you're going to throw those other modules in now and again to spice things up. And the rest of the time, there's some really good little modules like the Saloon dice, like the Chief's Arrow, that you're just going to be using time and time again. But anyway, I've had so much fun with this, so glad it's in the collection, even though it's weird to put on a shelf because it might roll off a little bit. It's staying on my shelf for sure. But that is Bang the Dice game, Dice Explosion. Please do let me know in the comment section below if you've played this awesome game, had a chance to play this specific version. Let me know in the comment section below, and hopefully it's helped you know pros and cons if you should be adding this one to your collection. I do definitely recommend the base game, and whether you want to pick this one up with all the expansions and the special box, well, that's going to be up to you. But hopefully it's helped, and until next time, have a dice-filled good day.